This is the sound of the 80s generation.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Feliz Navidad.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Are you ready to do it? Here we go.
I want you all to go home now and have a very Merry Christmas.
Tonight, Joe E. Kramer presents the Decades Christmas Spectacular. This is Decades with Joe E. Kramer.
All right. Are you ready? Here we go. Just a couple days from Christmas, and of course, this is the once a year Christmas Spectacular of music right here on Decades. Let's get it going tonight. Eddie Money.
At home where I wanna be, wrapped pressed by the Christmas tree. With my baby, it's just my baby and me. Got the little ones tucked in bed, seeing Santa run through their head. So happy, it's so much fun to believe. Julian wants a rocking horse, my daughter Jessie wants a doll that talks. Little John wants a BB gun, Mama has saying just too young, just too young. Everybody loves Christmas, everybody has fun. That time of the year, that holiday cheer, a good time for everyone. Everybody loves Christmas, I'm counting the ways. You know it's almost here. Well, Christmas Day, Christmas Day. Checking on my list, I'm almost done. Had to buy a gift for everyone. It don't matter, it's just that time of the year. Alright, I spend the money and I don't look back. Maybe even wake up in a Cadillac. The man told me, said, don't worry, I'm here. Everybody in the neighborhood got the house looking really good. All the ones kinda disappeared. It all happened more than once a year. More than once a year. Everybody loves Christmas, everybody has fun. That time of the year, all a holiday cheer, a good time for everyone. Everybody loves Christmas, I'm counting the days. You know it's almost here. Well, Christmas Day.
Everyone loves Christmas. It's that time of the year when the little kids cheer.
Everybody loves Christmas, everybody has fun.
It's that time of the season. It's their time to have fun. Oh, 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 oh.
Everybody loves Christmas, everybody has fun. That time of the year, all a holiday cheer, a good time for everyone.
Everybody loves Christmas, and I'm counting the ways. You know it's almost here for Christmas Day.
You know it's almost here for Christmas Day. And now it's finally here for Christmas Day. Christmas Day. It's Christmas Day. Almost Christmas Day.
Everyone loves Christmas. Merry, Merry Christmas.
Everyone is having so much fun.
Whoa, oh, 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 oh.
It was Christmas Eve, babe, in the drunk tank. An old man said to me, won't see another one. he sang a song, 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 he sang a song.
You promised me Broadway was waiting for me. You were handsome.
You were pretty queen of New York City. When the band finished playing, they held out for more.
Sinatra was swinging, all the drunks they were singing. We kissed on the corner, then danced through the night. The boys of the NYPD choir were singing, "Go Away, Babe," and the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day.
Lying there almost dead on a dripping that bed.
You scumbag, you maggot, you cheap, lousy faggot. Happy Christmas, you're ours, I pray God it's our love.
The boys of the NYPD choir still singing, "Go Away, Babe," and the bells are ringing out for Christmas Day. Could have been someone.
Well, so could anyone. You took my dreams from me when I first found you.
I kept them with me, babe. I put them with my own. Can't make it all alone. I built my dreams around you. The boys of the NYPD choir still singing, "Go Away, Babe," and the bells are ringing out for Christmas Day.
Our annual Christmas show, a Christmas spectacular of music. That is one of the biggest Christmas songs of all time. In the world, it has sold over 5 million copies to Pogue's Fairy Tale of New York. Right here on Decades.
Wishing you a very Merry Christmas.
The biggest hits forever.
As we roll 5 full hours of retro radio. However, tonight it is a retro Christmas. The Christmas spectacular of music right here on Decades. Get ready, we're just starting. We got special guests coming up at 9 o'clock. I'll talk about that coming up.
When I was a small boy here in London town, season snow was falling on the ground. All the friends and family here on Christmas Eve gather round to dress the Christmas tree. Daddy's down at the pub, full of Christmas cheer. Probably won't come home until next year. All the Christmas bells are ringing, and the carolers are singing. Mum, Daddy, he don't hear 'em. He's yelling at the Christmas tree. Santa's balls are jingling, Mommy's hips are wiggling. But Daddy, he don't hear 'em. He's yelling at the Christmas tree. All right now, yeah. Uncle is a sports fan, Granny likes a joke, but no one laughs when Daddy stumbles. balls are jingling, mommy's hips are wiggling. Daddy, he don't hear 'em. He's yelling at the Christmas tree. All right now, yeah. All right now, yelling at the Christmas tree. Santa came down the chimney, but then he ran upstairs. Jumped in bed with mommy, she didn't care. Across the room went the fruitcake, all the wreath came off the door. If these are holidays, I can't take no more. Every year it's the same old thing, like the Rudolph's red nose. Telling this story never will get old. Oh, the Christmas bells are ringing and the carolers are singing, but Daddy, he don't hear 'em. He's yelling at the Christmas tree. Santa's balls are jingling, mommy's hips are wiggling, but Daddy, he don't hear 'em. He's yelling at the Christmas tree. Santa's balls are jingling, mommy's hips are wiggling, but Daddy, he don't hear 'em. He's yelling at the Christmas tree. All right now, yeah. Yelling at the Christmas tree. He's yelling at the Christmas tree. He's yelling at the Christmas tree. He's sleeping in the Christmas tree.
Back when you did your Christmas shopping at Stroud's and Jewel Corps. This is Decades with Joe E. Kramer.
So many ways, Feliz Navidad and happy holidays. Don't matter if you're 9 or 98, everyone's waiting for a chance to say, finally it's Christmas again. Feels good. Around this time of year, you get to know there's something in the air. If you're in London on the Santa Fe, you look for snow to fall on Christmas Day. Finally it's Christmas. Well, don't delay, Santa's on his way, so get your stockings up in time for Christmas Day. Don't dismay, throw your cares away, it's gonna be
Finally, It's Christmas. How about it? That is Hanson. They put that album out last year called Finally It's Christmas. Very cool stuff. Their second Christmas album. 1997, they had Snowed In. And 20 years later, they had Finally It's Christmas right here on Decades. It's the Decades Christmas Spectacular. So glad you could join us. 3 days till Christmas. So if you don't have your shopping done yet, you have tomorrow, Sunday. And if you're brave enough to go out on Christmas Eve, you have Monday. So there you go. That's all we got left. All right, we're going to 9 o'clock tonight. For the 5th consecutive year, right here, Johnny Mathis will be joining us. He is like Mr. Christmas. This guy has released so many Christmas albums. He has, I know he grew up with me in my house. When I think of Christmas, I think of Johnny Mathis. And I'm going to be talking to him again tonight, 9 o'clock. You don't want to miss that, plus some cool Christmas music from Johnny Mathis. We're also going to be doing some Christmas facts throughout the night. I have them all pulled up here. Interesting stuff, things I didn't even know about Christmas. I'm going to be sharing with you throughout the night. Of course, all the great Christmas music. A lot of stuff you don't hear on the radio any other time except for right here. Well, we have a couple staples you have to play, like Band-Aid we have coming up. Britney Spears, Mannheim Steamroller, and a flashback back to the 70s Christmas. That's in there, too. So don't go anywhere. Oh, we got a Hairspray Christmas, too. Hair Metal Christmas. What can be better? It's all straight ahead. This is a Decades Christmas. We got more coming up right here on the River 105 and 103.5 around the world and everywhere at the River NEPA.com, and of course Decades with JoeEKramer.com. Don't go anywhere. More Decades coming up. Hang on.
The gift that keeps on giving. Get ready to turn it up. This is Decades with Joe E. Kramer.
It's Christmas time, and there's no need to be afraid. At Christmas time, we let in light and we banish shade. And in our world of plenty, we can spread a smile of joy. For your arms around the world at Christmas time. But say a prayer, pray for the other ones. At Christmas time, it's hard, but when you're having fun, there's a world outside your window, and it's a world of dread and fear, where the only water flowing is the bitter sting of tears, and the Christmas bells that ring there are the clanging chimes of doom. Well, tonight, thank God it's them instead of you. And there won't be snow in Africa this Christmas time. The greatest gift they'll get this year is life. Oh, where nothing ever grows, no rain or rivers flow. Do they know it's Christmas time at all? Here's to you, raise a glass for everyone. Here's to them underneath that burning sun. Do they know it's Christmas time at all?
Okay, well, this is Bono here, singing with you too, wishing you a happy Christmas and a Merry New Year. Is that right?
Hello, this is Paul McCartney. Sorry I can't be with you.
Hi, this is Simon from Duran Duran. I'd like to say
like to wish you a happy Christmas. I'm Paul Weller from the Style Council. Wish you all a happy Christmas.
Hello, this is Joe from Ultravox. I really forgot there's so many bloody groups here today. Just have a good Christmas and enjoy yourself.
Hello, this is Paul McCartney. Feed the world, let them know it's good. Hello, this is Paul McCartney. Hello, this is Paul McCartney. Feed the world, let them know it's good. Sorry, I can't remember that.
This is John Ross from Couch Plus saying, feed the world. There are 11 million people starving in one country. Doesn't it make you think?
Hello, this is Gary Kent from Spandau Ballet. Happy Christmas, everyone.
Well, this is John Taylor from Duran Duran. Happy Christmas, everybody, too.
Hello, I'm Siobhan. Happy Christmas. Hello, I'm Sarah from Bananarama. Happy Christmas. And from me too, Karen.
Hello, this is Glenn Gregory from Hidden 17, wishing everybody a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah, this is Stuart Adamson. This is Tony Butt. This is Mark Brzezicki. This is Bruce Watson from Big Country. Feed the people. Stay alive.
This is Johnny Fingers from Boomtown Lads, and I'd like to wish everyone a happy Christmas.
This is David Bowie. It's Christmas 1984, and there are more starving folk on our planet than ever before. Please give a thought for them this season and do whatever you can, however small, to help them live. Have a peaceful New Year.
This record was recorded on the 25th of November 1984. It's now 8 a.m. on the morning of the 26th. We've been here 24 hours and I think it's time we went home. So from me, Bob Geldof and Midge, we'll say good morning to you all and a million thanks to everyone on the record. Have a lovely Christmas. Bye.
Christmas music. How could you possibly hate Christmas music? 1984, in my mind, the biggest Christmas song of all time. Band-Aid. That is a remix, actually. With all them talking there at the end and Bob Geldof. It's hard to believe it's been, 34 years since that song came out? Seems like yesterday. I remember when it debuted on MTV. It was like the biggest thing. The talking it down. A very young Britney right here. My only wish this year on Decades.
Last night I took a walk in the snow. Couples holding hands, places to go. Seems like everyone but me is in love. Santa, can you hear me? I signed my letter that I sealed with a kiss. I sent it off and just said this. I know exactly what I want this year. Santa, can you hear me? I want my baby, baby. And waiting here. Santa, that's my only wish this year. I hope my letter reaches you in time. Oh yeah, bring me love I can call on mine. Oh yeah, 'cause I have been so good this year. Oh, can't be alone under mistletoe. He's all I want in a big red bow. Santa, can you hear me? I have been so good this year, and all I want is one thing. Tell me my true love is near. He's all I want, just for me, underneath my Christmas tree. I'll be waiting here. Oh yeah, Santa, that's my only wish this year. Oh Santa, can you hear me? Oh Santa, well he's all I want, just for me, underneath my Christmas tree. I'll be waiting here. Oh yeah, Santa, that's my only wish this year. Santa, that's my only wish this year.
Celebrating the holidays with Joe E. Kramer on Decades. 100% Santa certified. This is Decades with Joe E. Kramer.
Hey, baby, the halls are looking a little bit empty. All right, here we go. Get the halls with boughs of holly. Fa la 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 la. Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. Yeah. All right. Down we now our gay apparel. Fa la 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 la. Show the ancient Yuletide carol. Fa la 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 la. Fa la 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 la. Fa la 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 la. La 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 la. Woo! We're gonna deck the halls. Yeah. Come on, boys, let's deck the halls. Here we go. See the blazing Yule before us. Fa la 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 la, la 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 la. Strap the harp and join the chorus. Fa la 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 la, la 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 la. Sing with joyous all together. Fa la 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 la. While tell of Yuletide treasure. Fa la 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 la, fa la 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 la, fa la 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 la, la la la. We're gonna deck the halls. Whoa, 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 whoa. Come on now. Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Oh yeah. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Yeah, yeah. Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Oh yeah. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Come on, man. Gonna deck the halls. You know what season it is? It's the season to be jolly, baby. Wipe those tears out of your eyes. Come on, man. It's Christmas time. Whoa, 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 whoa. Come on and get the halls.
It is Decades. It is a Decades Christmas. The Christmas Spectacular. We do it every single year. I love when it's closer to Christmas because some years it falls like a week before Christmas. And I don't know, it just doesn't feel the same. Johnny Mathis coming up after 9 o'clock. A very hairy Christmas coming up at 8 o'clock. And Brian Adams, a reggae Christmas.
Every year I get the same feel. Christmas come, I wanna pack my bag and flee. I wanna get away from New York. I wanna find another place to be. So we're having a reggae Christmas. We're having a good time too. Hey now, we're having a reggae Christmas. American Christmas and a reggae Christmas is nice in Germany. Feel like being up to your knees in snow. It's just as cold up in Canada. We gotta find another place to go. So we're having a reggae Christmas. We're having a good time too. Hey now, we're having a reggae Christmas. American Christmas and a
Joe E. Kramer gives you this week's 8-track classic flashback.
When the snowman brings the snow, when it just not like to know, you put a great big smile on somebody's face. If you jump into your bed, quickly cover up your head. Don't you lock the doors, you know the sweet Santa Claus is on the way. Oh, well, I wish it could be Christmas every day. When the kids start singing and the band begins to play. Oh, I wish it could be Christmas every day. Let the bells ring out for Christmas. When we're skating in the park, if the snowflake paints it dark, then your rosy cheeks gonna light my merry way. Now the frosty claws appear, and they've frozen up my fear. So we'll lie by the fire till the sleep simply melts them all away. Well, I wish it could be Christmas every day. When the kids start singing and the band begins to play. Oh, I wish it could be Christmas every day. So let the bells ring out for Christmas. When the snowman brings the snow, when it's just like to know, you put a great big smile on somebody's face. So if Santa brings that sleigh all along the Milky Way, so the name of the rooftop in the snow that the ladies like to stay. Well, I wish it could be Christmas every day. When the kids start singing and the band begins to play. Oh, I wish it could be Christmas every day. So let the bells ring out for Christmas. Okay, you lot, take it. Well, I wish it could be Christmas every day. Christmas, baby. When the kids start singing and the band begins to play. I wish it could be Christmas every day. Let the bells ring out for Christmas. Why don't you When the snowman brings the snow, when the snowman brings the snow, when the snowman brings the snow.
That is what you call a psychedelic trip. Back in 1973, the band was called Wizard. And if you want to see a good video, go and type that in, Wizard. I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day, 1973. They were a fun band. You can leave it at that. Psychedelic, glam, you name it. Has made the charts in the UK the last 12 years, originally debuting in 73. This year went to number 24. So there you go. All right, Hairspray at 8 is coming up next. Johnny Mathis at 9 o'clock. Here are your first Christmas facts of the night. The image of Santa Claus flying in a sleigh began in the year 1819. And it was created by Washington Irving, the same author who dreamt up the Headless Horseman. The Montgomery Ward department store, remember them? They actually created Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer as a marketing gimmick to encourage children to buy their Christmas coloring books. However, he did not have a red nose because back then a red nose was a sign of alcoholism. And as we know, Rudolph does not drink. Just a few facts for your Christmas. Things that can make you look really smart on Christmas Eve. Johnny Mathis after 9 o'clock. Don't miss it. Hairspray at 8 is next. It is a very hairy Christmas. Don't go anywhere. This is Decades Around the World, theriverindiepa.com. Decades with joeykramer.com. Run a Radio Bolt app through iPhone or Android. And, of course, right here, as always, on the River 105 and 103.5. Hang on.
This is the sound of the 80s generation.
Come on, we gotta go shopping.
I'm just gonna melt through those charge cards.
I'm gonna go look for the clearance tables.
Wouldn't be the Christmas shopping season if the stores were any less hotter than they are.
La 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 la.
Tonight, Joe E. Kramer presents the Decades Christmas Spectacular. This is Decades with Joe E. Kramer.
All right, you ready? It is a very hairy Christmas. Let's get it started with Tough. Jingle Bell Rock. Merry Christmas, hair metal style.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chiming, jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air. What a bright time, it's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go gliding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and a mingle in the jingling feet. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. What a bright time, it's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go gliding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and a mingle in the jingling feet. That's the Jingle Bell. That's the Jingle Bell. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. Jingle
Have a very hairy Christmas. Hairspray at 8 with Joe E. Kramer on Decade.
The night was black and velvet. Stars were all around. The stranger landed lightly on the frosty ground. His eyes were wide with wonder. Feel the stars in space. It searched the heavens over till it found this place. A sweet
That is Lillian Axe. Here is Christmas. It is a decade's Christmas. The spectacular. We do it once a year. I love to do it. Play all this cool music that you don't normally hear on the radio. Different versions of Christmas songs you don't normally hear on the radio. Because let's face it, all the Christmas season, we always hear the same 10 songs over and over. Do we ever hear a Twisted Sister Christmas song? Consider it done, man. Twisted Sister, Silver Bells, Hairspray at 8. It's a very hairy Christmas, by the way. Turn it up.
Let me tell you about it. Busy sidewalks, busy sidewalks, drifting on the getting style. In the air, there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, meaning smile after smile. In on every street corner, you hear silver bells, silver bells.
making your Christmas hairy and bright. It's Hairspray at 8 on Decades.
Dreaming of white
to get you in the Christmas spirit. White Christmas. That was on Appetite for Destruction, the extended version that they raped you for a couple $100 this year, right? Hey, maybe that'll be under your Christmas tree. Recorded in 1987 and added to Appetite for Destruction, the deluxe set. That came out earlier this year. So there you go. White Christmas, Guns N' Roses. All right, here's some more fun facts. You ready? Write these down. You can use these while you're sitting around a Christmas Eve table. The tallest Christmas tree ever was displayed in Seattle, Washington. It measured, get this, 221 feet tall. Buying all the gifts from the 12 Days of Christmas, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, would cost you something, I don't know, thousands of dollars. I don't have the exact amount in front of me. But the most expensive being Swans of Swimming. $6,300 for those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 swans of swimming. I actually had to count them. When the candy cane was invented in Germany, and that's where the candy cane came from. I hate candy canes. Never liked them. I used to get them, and I didn't know what to do with them. I would hide them with the decorations, and then whatever. Anyway, it was made into a J for Jesus. It was actually a religious thing. The red stripes symbolize his blood. So next time you eat a candy cane, think of that. Black Friday is not the busiest shopping day of the year. The actual 2 busiest shopping days of the year are right before Christmas. So Christmas, tomorrow actually is 23rd, and Christmas Eve are the busiest shopping days of the year. 1/3 of, here's the last one before I go into a break. 1/3 of the 20 highest grossing movies were released during Christmas, proving that going to the movies after opening gifts is a popular tradition. And I have a list of movies that have either been released already or are coming out over the holiday season. We'll talk about that. Plus, we got more Christmas songs. A great one from Bob Rivers Comedy Group. Now, I wouldn't normally play this during Hairspray 8, but it's actually like a hair metal song. So we'll do that one. Also, Dokken in there. A great song from Halford. That's Rob Halford, his band, when he was away from Judas Priest and more. This is Decades right here around the world, the river80pa.com. Decades with joeekramer.com, the Radio Bold app for your iPhone or Android device, and on the radio, the River 105 and 103.5. A very hairy Christmas rolls on next.
The gift that keeps on giving. Get ready to turn it up. This is Decades with Joe E. Kramer.
Loud Guns N' Roses with Axl Rose spitting. Ozzy's black eyes and the bats that he's bitten. Big Marshall stacks and a broken E string. These are a few of my favorite things. Ow! Penthouse apartments and 12 in a hot tub. Drinking Jack Daniels while getting a back rub. Ooh. Little gold chains clip the brass nipple ring. These are a few of my favorite things.
We like bar fights, we like nose rings, we like eating snails. We always indulge in our favorite things. No wonder our skin so
Girls in black leather with tight little tushes. Tattoos on big bosoms of prickly rose bushes. Silver stretch limos that come when I ring. These are a few of my favorite things.
We like bar fights, we like nose rings, we like eating snails. We always indulge in our favorite things. No wonder our skin
Jingle Hell's bells.
How can't you like that one? That is the Bob Rivers comedy book. That is the same band that gave us the 12 Pains of Christmas and Wreck the Malls, all that cool stuff. It's called Jingle Hell's Bells. And Twisted Christmas Greatest Hits. It's actually pretty good stuff. All right, let's get it going on. It's a Decades Christmas. It's a very hairy Christmas. Johnny Mathis after 9 with us, but right now, we got the hair metal. A very hairy Christmas. Dokken, Santa Claus is coming to town.
You better watch out, you better not cry, better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
It's a Hairspray at 8 Christmas. Decades with Joe E. Kramer on The River.
Christmas always goes too fast. It's up to us to make it last. And all I want for Christmas is love. Come that morning I see you smile. It only lasts a little while. How come we seem to push it all aside? Don't you know that it's Christmas time again? I'm happy for you. You know it comes and goes, so let's pretend that it'll last for you. Saint Nick seems to disappear. Brings us toys but leaves a tear. The day is done but the spirit should remain. It's times like these we need a change. A calendar to rearrange. I'll make sure it'll last all year. Don't you know that it's Christmas time again? I'm happy for you. You know it comes and goes, so let's pretend that it'll last for Christmas time again. I'm happy for you. You know it comes and goes, so let's pretend that it'll last for you. Oh,
Christmas hairy and bright. It's Hairspray at 8 on Decades.
Bearing gifts, we traverse so far. Field and fountain, war and mountain, following yonder star. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright. Westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Born a king on Bethlehem's plain, gold I bring to crown him again. King forever, ceasing never, over us all to reign. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright. Westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Glorious now, behold him arise, King and God and sacrifice. Alleluia, alleluia, earth to heaven replies. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright. Westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light.
There you go, Halford, Rob Halford and Company, his band Halford, together until, well, it's actually still together. It's a side project of Judas Priest, and that was, I'm trying to think of the name of the album, Winter Songs, Halford 3 Winter Songs. I saw 3 ships to say it's kind of different, I guess. Hey, it's a very hairy Christmas. That's what it's all about. It's Joey Kramer, only a few days away from Christmas. More Christmas facts we're going to do tonight, and of course, Johnny Mathis with us after 9 o'clock. Now, he is all about Christmas, so don't go anywhere. Warren right now, Father Christmas, a very hairy Christmas.
When I was 4, I believed in Santa Claus, though I knew it was my dad. And then we'd hang up the stockings at Christmas, I'd open presents and I'd be glad. But then last year I played Father Christmas, I stood outside a department store. A gang of kids came over and mugged me and knocked my reindeer to the floor.
rich boys. Don't give my brother a Steve-Austin outfit. Don't give my sister a cotton toy. We don't want a jigsaw Monopoly money. We only want the real McCoy. Father Christmas, give us some money. Don't mess around with your silly toys. We'll beat you up if you don't hand it over. We want your bread, so make us annoyed. And give my daddy a job, cause he needs one. He's got a lot of mouths to feed. And if you got one, I'll take a machine gun, so I can shoot all the kids down my street. Father Christmas, give us some money. Don't mess around with those silly toys. Beat you up if you don't hand it over. We want your bread, so we'll make us annoyed. Give all the toys to the little rich boys. Have yourself a very Merry Christmas. Have yourself a good time. Remember the kids who got nothing while you're drinking down your wine. Father Christmas, give us some money. Don't mess around with your silly toys. Father Christmas, give us some money. We'll beat you up, so don't make us annoyed. Father Christmas, give us some money. Don't mess around with your silly toys. Beat you up if you don't hand it over. We got your back, so don't make us annoyed. Give all the toys to the little rich boys.
Wishing you a very Merry Christmas.
The biggest hits forever. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells,
Jingle Bells. Probably the best thing they did without Sebastian Bach. Does that say much? This song became popular when it was featured in the Santa Claus Part 2 and gave Danger Danger a little bit of a jump right there. A naughty, naughty Christmas. A very hairy Christmas.
I've been a naughty boy. I didn't get a toy. Santa Claus left nothing underneath my tray. He knows that I've been bad, but being good just ain't my bag. So here's the thing to do if you're just like me. Everybody pull the shades, lock the door like you did before, and have a naughty, naughty Christmas and a down and dirty New Year. Naughty, naughty Christmas, filled with peace and love and good cheer. If you haven't got someone you love someone you're near, and have a naughty, naughty Christmas this year. Oh, yeah. It's too cold to go out today, or take a ride in an open sleigh. I'll do some kissing underneath the mistletoe. My baby's always been the giving kind, but when she tells me she's my present, then she blows my mind. I can't wait, but I'm gonna unwrap her slow. Oh, well. Oh, yeah, we're gonna have a ball, and we'd like to wish you all a naughty, naughty Christmas and a down and dirty New Year. Naughty, naughty Christmas, filled with peace and love and good cheer. If you haven't got someone you love someone you're near, and have a naughty, naughty Christmas this year. Oh yeah, we're gonna deck the halls with amber and holly and with amber and holly and all those naughty girls. We'll have a naughty, naughty Christmas and a down and dirty New Year. Naughty, naughty Christmas, filled with peace and love and good cheer. If you haven't got someone you love someone you're near, and have a naughty, naughty Christmas. Yeah! Naughty, naughty Christmas and a down and dirty New Year. Naughty, naughty Christmas, filled with peace and love and good cheer. If you haven't got someone you love someone you're near, and have a naughty, naughty Christmas. Have a naughty, naughty Christmas. A naughty, naughty Christmas this year. Oh, yeah. Naughty, naughty Christmas. In the down and dirty New Year. Santa's breaking down, Santa's breaking down. Naughty, naughty, yeah. Oh,
Making your Christmas hairy and bright. It's Hairspray at 8 on Decades.
much. I just wish that you'd come home too. Seems like Christmas ain't what it used to be, and it don't mean a thing if you're not here with me. What's the point in celebrating? Ain't no happy holiday when the only one I wanted is a million miles away. Now I don't need no present underneath my tree. Santa Claus don't bring me nothing new, and I don't need my stocking stuffed. To have you here is more than enough, 'cause all I want is Christmas with you. You're the one thing that could make my dreams come true. I could have it all, but all I want is you. What's the point in celebrating? Ain't no happy holiday when the only one I wanted is a million miles away. Now I don't need no presents underneath my tree. Santa Claus, I don't need nothing new. Now I don't need my stocking stuffed. To have you here is more than enough, 'cause all I want is Christmas with you. All I want is Christmas with you. I don't need no presents underneath my tree. Santa Claus don't bring me nothing new. I don't need my stocking stuffed. To have you here is more than enough, 'cause all I want is Christmas. You're all that's on my wish list. All I want is Christmas with you. Christmas with you.
It is a very hairy Christmas, and it's a good one from Firehouse. Christmas with you. They can still write the ballads. There's no doubt about that. Christmas with you on a Decades Christmas Spectacular and a very hairy Christmas. Johnny Mathis coming up in about 7 minutes. One more from Helix.
The moon is right, the spirit's up. We're here tonight, and that's enough. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. The party's on, the feeling's here. That only comes this time of year. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. The choir of children sing their song. They practiced all year long. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. The word is out about the town to lift the glass and don't look down. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Simply
Christmas time. Wonder what Paul McCartney thinks about that. Joey Kramer, A Very Hairy Christmas is the Decade's Christmas Spectacular. All right, we're getting ready. Johnny Mathis will be coming up next. He does it every year with us. The guy is phenomenal. Always takes some time out between October and December to talk to me. I recorded this about a month ago talking about Christmas. He's a busy guy, so I got to get him while I can. We were also talking about different movies. The biggest time to go see a movie is Christmas Day, and there's a bunch of movies coming out. Destroyer with Nicole Kidman comes out on Christmas Day. The other one I'm interested in is Steve Carell's new one, Welcome to Marwen. That also comes out December 21st. That came out yesterday. Also out. Bumblebee out yesterday. If you love the Transformers. Holmes and Watson came out yesterday. Aquaman also released yesterday. You couldn't get me to see Mary Poppins Returns for any amount of money, but that was also out this week. What else was out? The new Jennifer Lopez second act, another movie you couldn't get me to see. And Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Whatever. There's so many superhero movies out, but they're the biggest movies coming out for the Christmas season. Okay, enough of that. Let's get to it. We have Johnny Mathis. He'll be coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. This is a decade's Christmas spectacular. Any verb you want to put in there, any description you want to put in there, not verb, description, adjective, that's the word I'm looking for. We'll be right back right here. It is The River, 105 and 103.5, heard everywhere in the world, therivernepa.com, decadeswithjoekramer.com, the Radio Bold app for your iPhone or Android device. Johnny Mathis is next on the Decades Christmas Spectacular.
This is the sound of the 80s generation.
Now a little musical Christmas gift for you folk out there.
Merry Christmas to you.
Christmas is about giving and love. The miracle of Christmas.
And now I want to wish you and yours a very, very Merry Christmas.
Tonight, Joe E. Kramer presents the Decades Christmas Spectacular. This is Decades with Joe E. Kramer. Now, a special Decades Artist Spotlight with Mr. Johnny Mathis.
Oh, yes, he is definitely Mr. Christmas, if nothing else. I mean, the romantic songs he writes, and he's done for over 60 years. Well over 60 years. I think he's been doing it 64, 63 years. It's unbelievable. And he's still selling out all the venues. He's still out on tour. He just turned 83 years old. And, of course, when you think of Johnny Mathis, you got to think of Christmas. He's the most successful Christmas artist of all time. Individual artist. We're not talking about, Trans-Siberian Orchestra or anything here. Unbelievable. And we have him again this year. I am so honored to talk to Johnny Mathis. 5 years running, we've had him on the show, and it's great to have him back every single year to celebrate the holidays with us. So let's get to the music first, right? Johnny Mathis coming up. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all, with those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time of the year. stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
This is the Decades Artist Spotlight with Joe E. Kramer. This week's artist.
It's another Decades Artist Spotlight, and once again, I am thrilled to welcome back to the show, the King of Romance, and of course, in my house, Mr. Christmas, the one and only Johnny Mathis is with me. How you doing, Johnny?
I'm okay for an old guy. Thank you, Joe.
Oh, you're not. What? How old? 40?
83 this year, September 30th, a Libra and all that. But nonetheless, I'm still doing what I do. I love to sing. And I was just out doing some exercise routines. That seems to help.
Well, you definitely keep active. There's no doubt about it. And you constantly are touring. I see you have another tour set up. Is going to be kicking off in a couple weeks, correct?
Yep, absolutely.
I got to tell you, last year in November, for the first time, I finally got to see you in concert. I took my wife, my mother, and my father, and we saw you at the FM Kirby Center in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow, Wilkes-Barre, yeah. I love that place.
And it was truly, it really was fantastic. My mother was like a teenager. I said, Mom, you got to close your mouth here. You can't be so stunned.
I'm good with moms.
Yeah, the moms seemed to love you, and it was fantastic. And the guy that was with you, Brad Upton, the comedian,
yeah,
he's fantastic.
Good. I'm glad. I'll pass that along to him.
And
okay.
It's funny because when he first came out, I'm thinking, okay, what is he doing? Then I realized he was a comedian, and it was great during the intermission that you had somebody, entertaining you. But it was a great show. I tell everybody, if you're going to go see a show, ours was right around Christmas, so you did perform some Christmas songs, but it was phenomenal. It really was.
Good.
And my father always said, my father's 75. He said, I don't know how he still does this. He said, I wouldn't last for a half hour on that stage.
That's nice to hear.
But it's been a lot of stuff has happened since last year when we talked. Your music has been re-released. I read about that. Real Gone Music released a lot of your records from the 1970s. Columbia has reissued a lot of your records, and a lot of them are on vinyl. So how do you feel about your records coming back out on vinyl?
Well, it's great to hear some of the stuff that I did when I was just a kid, and they've got it right from the beginning. The first recording that I made when I was, 18 years old, and wide-eyed and bushy-tailed in front of my first microphone in a professional capacity. It was quite dramatic for me, and to hear that stuff now, after all these years, it's amazing. I try to remember how nervous I was with all that was going on. When you're a little kid like that, all that stuff. And I was away from home too. I lived in San Francisco, and I went to New York to make my first recordings. And when I hear that stuff played back, it brings back a lot of memories, and most of them are very pleasant.
And it's even, I find it ironic because nowadays the kids are I say the kids, I sound like my father now, but the kids are actually getting into the vinyl records. We think they won't like them, but more and more people are starting to buy vinyl now. Then, CDs are becoming extinct, and you see the vinyl records everywhere in the stores.
That's good to see. Good to see, really.
And I still have my vinyl records. I still play them all the time. I'm sure you do too.
Yep, absolutely. I wouldn't know any other way. Where is it? Is it in the air someplace? Come on now. I got to have this needle on this record.
I know. I hear you. There was a 1982 record called I Love My Lady with Nile Rodgers and Bernard Edwards from Chic. And it was only just released on vinyl in May of this year. Talk a little bit about that record.
over the years, there have been a lot of let's try this, let's try that, and that was one of the efforts we were doing. And Bernard and the powers to be at the time were really excited about that. I listened to that stuff and I loved it, absolutely loved it,
right?
Because I was utilizing my voice to do something that I was interested in, but maybe and try to get the public to hear. But yeah, I was, and I loved the process. I remember it very vividly because it was the first time that I'd ever recorded something, and then the same day got into a limousine and had it played back to me. Usually you record and you don't hear it for 6 months or something. But Bernard and his partner put this stuff in the limousine that was taking me from the recording studio to my hotel, and it was quite wonderful. Really, it was a very exciting kind of way to make a record, make it and then hear it back right away.
Now, why wasn't it released originally? Because I read that it was, originally somewhat done in 1981, but it was not released in its entirety until last year, December of 2017.
I have no idea how these record companies work with the product that we give them, and it sounds kind of detached to call it product, but that's in fact what it is, and you do your best, and you give it to them, and they, as far as their sales are concerned, they do with it as they will. Over the years, I've recorded a lot of music and never heard it, played back even, and this time when they release everything that I've done on Columbia, I've heard some of the stuff and I go, oh my God, what was I doing there? But yeah, it's kind of fun to listen to some of it, and some of it I wish they'd never released.
And you know what? It's funny. You said you record a lot of music, but you're not kidding. I mean, for people who don't realize this, you recorded your first album in 1956. Johnny Mathis was released. You released an album every single year, basically. It was nonstop.
I didn't realize it at the time, but they have a process that they go by, at least at that point in my life, and it required me contractually to record, and that's what I did. I went to the studios, made recordings, and they released them right away, which I thought was realistic, because I was able to remember the things that I'd recorded and also perform them in person. It's a little different now, but gosh, that was de rigueur at the time, and it suited me fine.
And by 1958, here you are, 23 years old, and by 1958, you already have 11 top 40 hits. You have 3 top 10. You have Chances Are, which hits number 1. You also have Johnny's Greatest Hits, which you are personally responsible for creating the Greatest Hits package. They didn't do them. I always tell you this every year, but before you, they didn't do Greatest Hits package as much, and yours was a incredible success.
Well, Mitch Miller was one of the executives at Columbia Records. I didn't record a lot of music under his tutelage, but he was in charge of the distribution of my music, and he was the one who came up with the idea to put together the first 4 recordings that I made, which included Chances Are, It's Not For Me To Say, 12th of Never, When Sunny Gets Blue, which is a lovely song, and they wanted to have a release. And I was on the road singing, couldn't get to the recording studio to record, so they put together the first 4 recordings that I made and put them in the form of an album.
Right.
Got a picture from somewhere of my face, put it on the album cover and called it Johnny's Greatest Hits.
And
which was a little bit, I don't know, superfluous at the time. I really didn't think of them as being such big hits, but that was the way they released that album, Johnny's Greatest Hits, and my goodness, what a feather in my cap
it became
over the years.
I mean, it has spent 25 years on the chart, non-consecutively. It was 10 years, then it was 15 years, but altogether, this album, this Greatest Hits album, has spent 25 years on the chart, which is just incredible. You don't hear that anymore.
Amazing.
Unbelievable. So anyway, we're talking 1958. You have, of course, in 57, you have the Greatest Hits package come out to 58. You invent that, and then you do your first Christmas album. And it was odd because you're still young, and you put out Merry Christmas, which comes out in 1958. And whose idea was it to say, okay, we have this young guy here who's had a lot of hits, and now we're going to have him do a Christmas album?
Well, that isn't really the way it happened. What happened is that I was away from home for the first time in my life. I was, 19 or 20
yeah,
years
you're
old?
20-some years old.
Okay, and I had told my father, who was the catalyst to all of this music in my life. My dad was the first person that I heard sing. He sang all the time at home. He's the reason that I still sing. And I wanted to do something to celebrate all the Christmases that my mom and my dad had made so wonderful for my 6 brothers and sisters and I. And as soon as I could, I decided I wanted to do a Christmas album because my mom and my dad made Christmas so special for all of us. And that was really quite a wonderful moment for me to be able to record a Christmas album and present it to my parents, and then to have them listen to it on the radio and hear these songs. It was an over-the-moon experience for me, and one of the few times in my life that I've really felt this elevation of excitement as far as having my parents hear what I do away from home, and all of these recordings at Christmas time are very special for me.
And it was great because, all the songs were traditional Christmas songs. 28 times this album has charted since its release. It's still every Christmas we play these songs on the radio. It doesn't matter what kind of format you are, you always hear a Johnny Mathis Christmas. And you spoke about your father, which, you always talk of him as an incredible man, and this is the only person I've ever heard, and we talk about it every time, who put together a piano. You brought the piano home, it wouldn't fit into you couldn't get it up to the apartment, so your father took the piano apart and brought it upstairs.
Well, we lived in a tiny little apartment house.
Right.
And the door to the front door was very small. My dad was the recipient of a lot of goodwill as far as the people that he worked for. He was a kind of a handyman. That's the way he made his living, and he did whatever was necessary in a person's life, whatever they needed to have something fixed, or to have something painted, or to put wallpaper on the walls. That's what my dad did, and occasionally people would give him, things. And this time they gave him a piano, and he dismantled it because he couldn't get it into the front door in our little apartment, and they put it all back together once he got inside. And it happened very late at night, and by 3 or 4 in the morning, we heard this playing, this piano, and never even knew that Dad could play the piano. And that was a second revelation for us. My dad was my best pal, and I can't speak enough about his involvement in my musical life. He was just the most wonderful friend anybody could ever have.
Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting, tingling too. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, let's go. Let's look at the show. We're riding in a wonderland of snow. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, it's grand, just holding your hand. We're gliding along with the song of a wintry fairyland. Our cheeks are nice and rosy and comfy, cozy are we. We've snuggled close together like two birds of a feather would be. Let's take that road before us and sing a chorus or two. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. There's a birthday party at the home of Farmer Gray. It'll be the perfect ending of a perfect day. We'll be singing the songs we love to sing without a single stop. At the fireplace where we'll watch the chestnuts pop. Pop, 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 there's a happy feeling nothing in the world can buy. When they pass around the coffee and the pumpkin pie, it'll nearly be like a picture print by Currier and Ives. These wonderful things are the things we remember all through our lives. These wonderful things are the things we remember all through our lives. Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting, tingling too. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, let's go. Let's look at the show. We're riding in a wonderland of snow. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, it's grand, just holding your hand. We're gliding along with the song of a wintry fairyland. Nice and rosy and comfy, cozy are we. We've snuggled close together like two birds of a feather would be. Let's take that road before us and sing a chorus or two. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you.
It is Johnny Mathis, Sleigh Ride, on the Decades Artist Spotlight.
This week's Decades Artist Spotlight continues. Now, here's Joe E. Kramer with this week's artist.
We're on a special Decades Artist Spotlight on a Decades Christmas Spectacular. Mr. Johnny Mathis is with us tonight, and if you missed any of this, I'll have it up on the website, decadeswithjoekramer.com. You can also link it from Facebook, Decades with Joe E. Kramer, and I'll get that. I'm going to get it up before Christmas. So hopefully I'll have it up sometime tomorrow if you missed part of the interview tonight. All right, we're going to get back to Johnny, of course. Talk a little bit more about Christmas, what's going on now, what's going to happen in the future, plus more music from the one and only Johnny Mathis coming up right here. It is the Decades Christmas Spectacular. We do it every single year. Nothing but Christmas tonight. And more Johnny Mathis coming up next right here at Decades on the River 105 and 103.5 around the world. TheRiverNEPA.com, Decades with JoeEKramer.com, and the Radio Bold app to your iPhone or Android device. More coming up next. 2 minutes. Hang on.
The gift that keeps on giving. Get ready to turn it up. This is Decades with Joe E. Kramer.
Haul out the holly, put up the tree before my spirit falls again. Fill up the stocking. I may be rushing things, but deck the halls again now. For we need a little Christmas right this very minute. Candles in the window, carols up the spinet. Yes, we need a little Christmas right this very minute. Hasn't snowed a single flurry, but Santa dear, we're in a hurry. Climb down the chimney, turn on the brightest string of lights I've ever seen. Slice up the fruitcake. This time we hung some tinsel on the evergreen bough. For I've grown a little leaner, grown a little colder, grown a little sadder, grown a little older, and I need a little angel sitting on my shoulder. Need a little Christmas now. So we need a little music, need a little laughter, need a little singing, ringing through the rafter, and we need a little snappy, happy ever after. Need a little Christmas.
The one and only Johnny Mathis. We need a little Christmas. Right here, the Decades Christmas Spectacular.
This week's Decades Artist Spotlight continues. Now, here's Joe E. Kramer with this week's artist.
We are on a Decades Artist Spotlight, a Christmas Decades Artist Spotlight. 5th year in a row, we have this man on here, Mr. Christmas, the king of romance, whatever you want to call it. He's been around forever. Johnny Mathis. Let's get back to it. Being we're in a Christmas season, Sounds of Christmas was your next album that came out. I just realized this when you switched to Mercury Records, because you've been on Columbia Records. 98% of your career has been done on Columbia Records, but there was a time you spent with Mercury. And this Christmas album, Sounds of Christmas, was one of the first albums you released on Mercury Records.
Well, everybody was all excited about my Christmas music, and that was what they suggested would be probably a good first recording, and I do remember recording it. I'm happy to do it. Christmas, whenever you get involved with young people, they're always Christmas is always at the forefront of what they're concerned about. When it comes around, and that was the way I've always felt about Christmas. If I had an opportunity to record Christmas music, that was the best thing. The only thing is that you record it probably in the summertime when the sun is out and you're thinking about snow and what have you. And in San Francisco, we never saw snow. But I had a good imagination, and I love recording Christmas music.
And I always love that. It's the same thing with Christmas movies. You see them, and 90% of the time, they're done in the middle of summer, and they're dressed up in all these coats and everything, and it's 90 degrees where they're filming these movies. It's incredible. But moving on, one of my favorite songs, by the way, on there, The Sound of Christmas, which a lot of people don't cover that song, but The Sounds of Christmas has always been one of my favorite Christmas songs, and you did a great version of it.
Thank you.
Hey, next Christmas, we're going to move on. We're going to keep it a little Christmassy here this time, because I try to look for something different every year to talk to you about. And another Christmas album that you released, Give Me Your Love for Christmas, came out in 1969. And again, it had the classics, Jingle Bell Rock, My Favorite Things, which is a fantastic version by you, Do You Hear What I Hear? But another Christmas album. Were you getting the vibe now that you had a niche here doing these Christmas albums?
Well, the record company has a lot to do sometimes with what you sing. They have an idea about what they think they can sell as far as product is concerned. And when they mention Christmas music, I'm all for it.
And it's got to be, Christmas songs they're easy to do. You obviously do some originals also, but who doesn't like a good Christmas song? It doesn't matter what you do. Everybody loves a good Christmas song, especially this time of year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I felt the same way, especially coming from a large family, because that was always something that was meaningful to us. There was a lot of free stuff at Christmas. People were very generous, especially to young kids at Christmas time. So Christmas is a very big deal in my life, and still is. I always make sure that I get involved at Christmas time. And on my concert tours, I love doing a complete Christmas show, which I've been able to do on many occasions.
You see, you're going to be in Hawaii right before Christmas. That's got to be a little weird in Hawaii for Christmas.
Oh, but there's a wonderful Christmas song about how's it go? Can't think of it now. But it's a Christmas song, Hawaiian Christmas song.
And 86. We're going to keep going here with these Christmas albums because it was a while before your next one. Christmas Eve with Johnny Mathis. I remember when this came out because I was only a teenager. I'm going to really make you feel old. But it was a Christmas Eve with Johnny Mathis. You were in a tuxedo with a present underneath you. And again, it was great. I mean, it was great. Some of the songs you did before, but every time you did them, you seemed to do them a different way.
Yeah, that happens occasionally. You record the song 2 or 3 different times for different occasions, and you don't remember what you did, and so you start off and do it completely different. It's a lot of fun sometimes.
The next Christmas album he had out, if you're keeping track, was the Christmas album, which came out in 2002. And again, another great Joy to the World, Away in the Manger, Frosty the Snowman, Have a Holly Jolly Christmas. Again, all songs that people knew and you could sing along with, no matter what age you were.
I love that. Absolutely love it. Yeah.
And then, of course, Christmas music of Johnny Mathis. You had a personal collection. And then your gold 50th anniversary Christmas celebration, which was another one with songs that different versions of the songs of It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. You had Toyland on there, O Tannenbaum. And again, I mean, you really make a lot of people smile around the holidays because there's nothing like a good Johnny Mathis Christmas song, especially as it gets towards Christmas.
Yeah, for someone like me, that means a great deal because you look forward to the Christmas holidays coming around, and walking around, you hear your songs, my songs on the radio, and in the shopping areas. It's a big boost to my ego, and I love it because Christmas music. It's still, all these memories you have when you were a little kid growing up, listening to Christmas music, and now you're a part of it in so many different ways, and it's a big joy for me.
Sending You a Little Christmas, 2013. That was your latest one. It was a hit on the Billboard chart, and it's your most recent Christmas album, and it's one I play a lot of around the holidays. I mean, talk a little bit about that one because you got back in the studio, and it was a brand new Christmas album. You performed it with a lot of different artists on the album: Billy Joel, Natalie Cole, Gloria Estefan. What made you to decide to do something like this?
Well, over the years, when I travel around and I meet a lot of these people, and the most fun that I've ever had is singing in tandem with other people over the years. I've sung with some of my favorite singers. I even sang with Lena Horne, who was a big influence on my career. I sang with Barbra Streisand. I sang with you name it. I was trying to figure out a way that I could sing with Nat King Cole. I said,
nowadays anything is possible.
And ask her if that would be okay. She said, "Oh, sure, he'd love it." He was one of my biggest boosters when I was a little kid. Nat King Cole heard me sing at a very early age, and he was my big vocal hero, still is, all of these many years. And he heard me when I was a little kid, and I always wanted to sing with him. He's very kind to me, and I always remember that with fondness.
Now, of course, last year you had the great New American Songbook, which I played a couple of those last year, and I might even sneak one in tonight, even though it's Christmas. And I hear that you're possibly working on another album coming up in 2019. What could you tell us about that? Or is it a secret?
I have no idea. They ask me what I would like to sing, and then I tell them, and you never hear from them. They have an idea about what they can sell, and that's what they're interested in. But they don't really make any mistakes as far as, at least they haven't at this point in my life, as far as what I should sing. So I get a good idea whenever they suggest something. Then I tell them whether I think I'm capable of doing it or not. But mostly, I would say 98% of the times they're right on key as far as what I should sing. Other than singing in a different language, I really, really enjoy when someone suggests something that I could sing, and it gives me, I get a chance to think outside of my own thoughts to what some people might like to hear me sing. So it's very helpful, and I'm very happy when the company decides that they want to give me a little help as far as what to sing.
I guess my last question is, to wrap things up here, is, does Johnny Mathis ever see himself retiring?
That's what I do. I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I get up, I go to the gym, go out and hit a few golf balls, come back home, cook dinner, and then I want to sing. And hopefully I'll be able to do that for as long as... One of my best pals is Tony Bennett. And I saw Tony recently, and Tony is a few years older than I am. We'll leave it at that.
Right.
Amazing man. Amazing man. I just looked at him in amazement, and hopefully I'll be able to enjoy my career and to still be able to sing at an age as he is. He's a big vocal hero of mine, and I'm, it gives me a lot of wonderful feeling about the fact that I can sing. And I've been very lucky early on. I had some really wonderful voice teachers, and they said it absolutely, and they were truthful. They said, you're going to want to sing all of your life, so, do it this way. And they're absolutely correct. I still love to sing, and hopefully I'll be able to do what Tony Bennett does, and that's sing the rest of my life.
Well, we certainly hope so. You are a pure pleasure. You, just like Tony Bennett, I mean, you're a legend to everybody. I mean, everybody out there. When I say I'm talking to Johnny Mathis, everybody gets excited. And this is 5 years in a row. Hopefully next year we'll be able to do a 6th year. It's not Christmas without Johnny Mathis. We are on a Decades Artist Spotlight. Mr. Johnny Mathis with us. Johnny, thank you so much for taking more time out this year to talk to us.
Thank you very much. Happy holidays. Hi, everybody. This is Johnny Mathis, and you're listening to Decades with Joey Kramer and me.
The snowman in the yard is frozen hard. He's a sorry sight to see. If he had a brain, he'd complain. I'll bet he wishes he were me. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of stopping, and I brought some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I'll hate going out
the storm.
This is the Decades Artist Spotlight.
Northeast PA's The River.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Have a holly jolly Christmas. And when you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. Ho, ho, the mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you, this one's for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and in case you didn't hear, oh, by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year.
I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. And when you walk down the street,
say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. Ho, ho, the mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you, this one's for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. Oh, by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas.
It is the great Johnny Mathis, right here on Decades.
This week's Decades Artist Spotlight continues. Now, here's Joe E. Kramer with this week's artist.
The Decades Artist Spotlight, a Christmas Decades Artist Spotlight. Johnny Mathis with us again for the 5th year in a row. We're going to go for number 6 next year. And I'll have this up online, decadeswithjoeykramer.com. I'll link it on Facebook, Decades with Joe E. Kramer. By the way, we're talking about Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett, by the way, just turned, well, in August 3rd, he turned 92. And he's still out there. He's got 10 years on Johnny Mathis, and he's still out there performing as much as Johnny Mathis is all year. 92 years old, Tony Bennett, 82 years old is Johnny Mathis, and hopefully many, many more years. All right, it is a Decades Christmas. We're going to get back to it. A lot of cool Christmas music on the way. NSYNC, Hall & Oates, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and Real Big Fish. Their rendition of Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, all straight ahead. This is Decades, exclusively on the River 105 and 103.5 around the world at therivernepa.com, Decades with joeekramer.com, and the Radio Bold app for your iPhone or Android device. The Decades Christmas continues next. Don't go anywhere.
This is the sound of the 80s generation.
Now a little musical Christmas gift for you folk out there.
Merry Christmas
to you.
Christmas is about giving and love.
The miracle of Christmas.
And now I want to wish you and yours a very, very Merry Christmas.
Tonight, Joe E. Kramer presents the Decades Christmas Spectacular. This is Decades with Joe E. Kramer.
Are you ready to do it? Here we go, hour number 4. Kick off now the Decades Christmas Spectacular. NSYNC.
Happy holiday. Merry Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy holiday. Ooh, yeah. We've been waiting all year for this night, when the snow is glistening on the trees outside, and all the stockings are hung by the fireside, waiting for Santa to arrive. And all the love will show, 'cause everybody knows it's Christmas time, and all the kids will see the gifts under the tree. It's the best time of year for the family. It's a wonderful feeling. Hey, yeah, yeah. The moon from the floor to the ceiling. It's that time of year. Christmas time is here, and with the blessings from above, God sends you His love, and everything's okay. Merry Christmas, happy holiday. Oh yeah. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, happy holiday. Oh, bells are ringing. It's time to scream and shout. And everybody's playing 'cause school's out, celebrating the special times we share. Happiness 'cause love is in the air, and all the love will show, 'cause everybody knows it's Christmas time, and all the kids will see the gifts under the tree. It's the best time of year for the family. It's a wonderful feeling. Wonderful feeling. Oh yeah. It's that time of year. That time of year. Christmas time is here. Oh yeah. The blessings from above. God sent you His love, and everything's okay. Merry Christmas, happy holiday. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, and happy holiday. Ooh. Merry Christmas. Oh yeah. Merry Christmas, and happy holiday. No matter what your holiday, it's a time to celebrate. Put your worries aside and open up your mind. See the world right by your side. It's Christmas time. Merry Christmas. Ooh, yeah. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy Sing it, everybody. Merry Christmas. Come on now. Merry Christmas. Let me hear you. Merry Christmas. And happy holiday. It's a wonderful feeling. Feel the love in the room from the floor to the ceiling. It's that time of year. That time of year. Christmas time is here. Yeah. The blessings from above. God sent you His love. Oh yeah. Everything's okay. Merry Christmas, happy holiday. Come on now. Merry Christmas. Let me hear ya. Merry Christmas. And happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Oh yeah. Merry Christmas. Yeah. And happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy holiday.
Decades. It came upon the midnight gleam,
that glorious song of all, from angels bending near the earth to touch their harps of gold. Peace on the earth, goodwill to men, from heaven's all gracious came. The world in solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing. With all these times of sin and strife, the world has suffered too long. Beneath the angel's voice has rolled 2,000 years of wrong, and man at war with man can't hear the love song that they bring. So stop this noise, you men of war, and hear the angels sing. Hear them sing, midnight, 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 and they say midnight, 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 oh, oh. Solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing. Midnight, clear, clear, midnight, midnight, clear, midnight, clear. Angels sing, midnight. Say midnight, oh, midnight, midnight,
Decade's Christmas Spectacular and Hall & Oates. It came upon a midnight clear. Never sounded better.
Wishing you a very Merry Christmas.
Northeast PA's The River.
You know, and every time I hear this song, of course, I think of Home Alone. And if you haven't checked out Macaulay Culkin's little thing he's doing as an elder, revisiting Home Alone, he's embracing it now, which is kind of cool. Who knows what that means? Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Well, it's Christmas time again. Decorations are on by the fire. Everybody's singing, all the bells are ringing out, and it's Christmas all over again. Yeah, again. Long distance relatives kiss them now, and it's Christmas all over again. Yeah, again. And all over town, little kids come get down. And Christmas is a rockin' time. Put your body next to mine. Underneath the mistletoe we go. We go. Everybody's singing, all the bells are ringing out, and it's Christmas all over again. Yeah, again. And right down our block, little kids start to rock. Christmas is a rockin' time. Put your body next to mine. Underneath the mistletoe we go. We go. Merry Christmas time. Come and find you happy and thereby your fire. I hope you have a good one. I hope mama gets the shopping done, and it's a Christmas all over again. Oh, baby, it's Christmas all over again. Oh, yeah. And it's Christmas all over again. Now let's see. I want a new Rickenbacker guitar, 2 Fender Bassmans, Chuck Berry songbook, xylophone.
Wow! What's this?
This is the North Pole.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Where's the snow?
This is Decades. Merry Christmas.
Hey, has anybody seen Grandma?
Grandma got run over by a reindeer, walking home from our house Christmas Eve. You can say there's no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. She'd been drinking too much eggnog, and we begged her not to go. But she forgot her medication, and she staggered out the door into the snow. When we found her Christmas morning at the scene of the attack, she had hoof prints on her forehead and incriminating claws marks on her back. Grandma got run over by a reindeer, walking home from our house Christmas Eve. You can say there's no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. Now we're all so proud of Grandpa. He's been taking this so well. See him in there watching football, drinking beer and playing cards with Cousin Mel. It's not Christmas without Grandma. All the family's dressed in black, and we just can't help but wonder, should we open up her gifts or send them back? Send them back! Grandma got run over by a reindeer, walking home from our house Christmas Eve. You can say there's no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. the goose is on the table, and the pudding made of fig, and the blue and silver candles that would just have matched the hair in Grandma's wig. I've warned all my friends and neighbors, better watch out for yourselves. They should never give a license to a man who drives a sleigh and plays with elves. Grandma got run over by a reindeer walking home from our house Christmas Eve. You can say there's no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. Grandma got run over by a reindeer walking home from our house Christmas Eve. You can say there's no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe.
I guarantee you never hear that song anywhere on any station.
As for me and Grandpa, we believe.
Only right here. It's a Decades Christmas. And Grandma got run over by a reindeer. Mel and Patsy, of course, made it famous. That is Real Big Fish, a little ska Christmas. Try to play this stuff you're not going to hear anywhere else on Christmas. That's what we do every single year here. We got a lot of cool ones coming up. How about this? It is a tradition in Japan to eat Kentucky Fried Chicken for Christmas. This is a Japanese tradition. Orders must be placed 2 months in advance if you plan on getting anything from KFC on Christmas. Jingle Bells. Jingle Bells was originally a song about Thanksgiving in 1857. It was also the first song ever played in space by astronauts Walter Chiari Jr. and Thomas P. Stafford. Now, this doesn't apply to me because I buy stuff all year, all Christmas. Actually, I buy stuff all year, but 1 in 3 men wait until Christmas Eve to do their shopping. I've been done for quite a while. My problem is if I get done early, I just keep on buying stuff, and it's a constant battle, myself and my wife, because I want to just keep on buying. I feel like I still need stuff, because if you order stuff by midnight tonight on Amazon, you still get it by Christmas. So. Christmas trees usually grow for close to 15 years before they can be sold. So that Christmas tree you have in your house was planted sometime around 2003. We got more decades coming up. The Ramones, Mavis Staples, Run DMC, and I got one you've never heard, Max Headroom. Remember him, the computer guy? His Christmas song from 1987. All straight ahead. We will be back in 90 seconds. Guaranteed. Right here on Decades.
The gift that keeps on giving. Get ready to turn it up. This is Decades with Joe E. Kramer.
Merry Christmas, I don't want to fight tonight with. Merry Christmas, I don't want to fight tonight. Merry Christmas, I don't want to fight tonight. Merry Christmas, I don't want to fight tonight with you. Where is Santa and his sleigh? And tell me why is it always this way? Where is Rudolph? Where is Blitzen, baby? Merry Christmas, Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas.
Christmas. It is the Ramones on Decades. It's Joey Kramer. It's a Christmas Decades Christmas Spectacular, we like to call it. Now, this song, of course, is a Christmas classic. You hear it on all the radio stations, but it is a song that maybe you don't know the story behind. In 1981, this song was released as a single and appeared on a compilation called A Christmas Record. Now, this featured Christmas songs by various ZE record artists, including Was Not Was and David Singerson. The song got some airplay in America, but never really became a huge hit. Now, when Chris Butler wrote the song, he was feeling very festive. The Waitresses were signed by Z Records, whose boss, Michael Zilka, asked the band on his roster, everybody had to come up with a Christmas song. He didn't care what it was. Everybody had to come up with a Christmas song. Butler was the notorious Scrooge, so that was a particularly daunting task. He banged out the song very quickly, writing the last of the lyrics in a taxi from his apartment in New York to Electric Lady Studios, where they recorded it. The end result was a very uplifting Christmas song with a happy ending. It's a playoff of Curtis Blow's Christmas Rappin' from 1979, The Waitresses, Christmas Rapping. This is Decades, a Decades Christmas.
Bah, humbug, well, that's too strong, 'cause it is my favorite holiday. But all this year's been a busy blur. Don't think I have the energy to add to my already mad rush, just 'cause it's 'tis the season. The perfect gift for me would be completions and connections left from last year. Ski shop encounter, most interesting. Had his number, but never the time. Most of 81, pass along those lines. So deck those halls, trim those trees, raise up cups of Christmas cheer. I just need to catch my breath. Christmas by myself this year. Count the picture, frozen landscape, chill this room for 24 days. Evergreen, sparkling snow, get this winter over with. Flashback to springtime, saw him again. Would have been good to go for lunch. Couldn't agree, and we were both free. We tried, we said we'd keep in touch. Didn't, of course, till summertime. Out to the beach to his boat, could I join him? No, this time it was me. Sunburn in the 3rd degree. Now the calendar's just one page. Of course I am excited. Tonight's the night I've set my mind not to do too much about it. Dashing through the snow, 'cause I bundled up too tight. Last minute, have to do a few cards, a few calls, because it's RSVP. No thanks, no party lights, it's Christmas Eve. Gonna relax, turn down all of my invites. Last fall, had a night to myself. Same guy called, Halloween party. Waited all night for him to show. This time his car wouldn't go. Forget it, it's cold, it's getting late. Trudge on home to celebrate in a quiet way. Unwind, doing Christmas right this time. A&P has provided me with the world's smallest turkey, already in the oven, nice and hot. Oh damn, guess what I forgot? So on with the boots, back out in the snow to the only all-night grocery. When what to my wondering eyes should appear in the line is that guy I've been chasing all year. And in this one alone, he said, "Need to break this year's been crazy." I said, "Me too, but why are you? You mean you forgot cranberries too?" Then suddenly we laughed and laughed, caught on to what was happening. That Christmas magic's brought this tale to a very happy ending.
Santa. No, no, no. It's Joe E. Kramer. Ho, ho, ho. This is Decades. Merry Christmas.
It's that time. Christmas time is here. Everybody knows there's not a better time of year. Hear that sleigh. Santa's on his way. Hip hip hooray for Christmas vacation. Got a ton of stuff to celebrate. Now it's getting closer, I can't wait. Gonna make this holiday as perfect as can be. Just wait and see this Christmas vacation. This old house sure is looking good. Got ourselves the finest snowman in the neighborhood. Ain't it fun? Always on the run. That's how it's done on Christmas vacation. Let's all let the homes and light the lights. Get a toasty fire burning bright. Give St. Nick the warmest welcome that he's ever had. We're so glad it's Christmas vacation. And when the nights are peaceful and serene, we can cuddle up and do our Christmas dreaming.
The Decades Christmas Spectacular. Oh, we still got another hour and a half to go. Another 2 days until Christmas. It goes so quick. It comes back. It starts, in November, you're thinking, oh, it's almost here. I have so much to do. And before you know it, here it is. I can remember going for a walk in July. It was 90 degrees. And I said to my wife and to my daughters, I said, before you know it, it's going to be Christmas. And sure enough, two days. Which means we got to get the heat miser and the snow miser on, right? It's not Christmas without it.
I'm Mr. White Christmas. I'm Mr. Snow. I'm Mr. Icicle. I'm Mr. 10 Below. Friends call me Snow Miser. Whatever I touch turns to snow in my clutch. I'm too much.
He's Mr. White Christmas. He's Mr. Snow. He's Mr. Icicle. He's Mr. 10 Below.
Friends call me Snow Miser. Whatever I touch turns to snow in my clutch.
He's too much.
I never wanna know a day that's over 40 degrees. I'd rather have a 30, 20, 10, 5, and let it free.
He's Mr. White Christmas. He's Mr. Snow.
That's right.
He's Mr. Icicle. He's Mr. 10 Below.
Friends call me Snow Miser. Whatever I touch too much. Too much. I'm Mr. Green Christmas. I'm Mr. Sun. I'm Mr. Heat Blister. I'm Mr. 101. They call me Heat Miser. Whatever I touch starts to melt in my clutch. I'm too much.
He's Mr. Green Christmas. He's Mr. Sun. He's Mr. Heat Blister. He's Mr. 101.
They call me Heat Miser. Whatever I touch starts to melt in my clutch.
He's too much.
Thank you. I never want to know a day that's under 60 degrees. I'd rather have it 80, 90, 100 degrees. Oh, some like it hot, but I like it really hot.
He's Mr. Green Christmas. He's Mr. Sun.
Sing it!
He's Mr. Heat Blister. He's Mr. 101.
They call me Heat Miser. Whatever I touch starts to melt in my clutch. I'm too much.
Too much.
What do you want for Christmas, little boy?
My mind had gone blank. Frantically, I tried to remember what it was I wanted. I was blowing it.
No, I want an official red undercover knife and 200 jet wings by Leroy.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
This is Decades. Merry Christmas.
Chilling and cooling just like a snowman. So open your eyes, lend us an ear. We want
It's the most wonderful time of the year. Decades with Joe E. Kramer. Merry Christmas.
Now, this is old. It was hard to find, but you'll enjoy it. Max Headroom. Merry Christmas, Santa Claus.
There's an old man on a sleigh who's like me, just for one day, bestrides the world like a huge colostomy. He gets no presents, he gets no fun, and he's forgotten when he's done. So here's a little gift, a song to him from me. Merry, 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 Merry Christmas, Santa Claus. Merry Christmas, Santa Claus. Merry Christmas, you're a lovely guy. So let us recall what started it all on that Bethlehem night so long ago, when people gazed from afar upon a giant star, which reminds me of someone you all know. Jesus in that manger lay, while the sheep and donkeys swayed, and the wise men and shepherds bowed their heads. Jesus heard the lullaby, so he opened up his eyes, then looked up at his mummy and said, Merry Christmas, Santa Claus. Merry Christmas, Santa Claus. Merry Christmas, you're a lovely guy. Merry Christmas, Santa Claus. Merry Christmas, Santa Claus. Merry Christmas, you're a lovely guy. Dear Santa, you know, words don't come easy to me, but I just want to say I love you. From the top of your Christmas stocking to the bottom of your Christmas bottom. I have a dream today, my friends, that before this Christmas ends, a big Santa's sack of love I'll bring. Then we'll unite the whole world through. Yes, even Belgians too. And we'll all stand together and sing. Merry Christmas, Santa Claus. Merry Christmas, Santa Claus. Merry Christmas, you're a lovely guy. Santa Claus, Merry Christmas, Santa Claus, Merry Christmas, you're a lovely guy. Merry Christmas, Santa Claus, Merry Christmas, Santa Claus, Merry Christmas, you're such a lovely guy. Merry Christmas, Santa Claus, Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas, Santa Claus.
Merry Christmas, you're a lovely
Max Headroom. Do you remember that dude? He was so big that, I don't know if you remember back in 1987, it was like November 22nd, 1987. It was a big controversy because there was a signal intrusion event by Max Headroom. Two Chicago stations had their broadcast signals hijacked by an unknown person wearing a Max Headroom mask and sunglasses. The first incident took place for 25 seconds during a sportscast on WGN Channel 9. 2 hours later, around 11, on PBS for about 90 seconds during broadcast of Doctor Who. The hacker rambled on, making references to Headroom's endorsement of Coke, the series Clutch Cargo, and the WGN 1 and GN anchor. So, anyway, Max Headroom, very cool. He had all kind of stuff. He had his own TV show for a while. He had his own video games. I think the TV show lasted for like 2 seasons or something like that. But anyway, Max Headroom and Merry Christmas, Santa Claus. We have one more hour to go here. Darlene Love, we got to get Straight No Chaser on. I love their version of the 12 Days of Christmas. We'll do that more. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Don't go anywhere. This is a Decade's Christmas right here on the river, 105 and 103.5 around the world at theriverNEPA.com. Decades with JoeEKramer.com and the Radio Bold app. We will be right back. One more hour and 2 more days till Christmas. Hang on.
This is the sound of the 80s generation.
This isn't just a day. It's a frame of mind.
There goes Santa Claus. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
Well, it's about the best time of the whole year.
That's right. Merry Christmas, Emporium! Merry Christmas, you wonderful Billy and Lone!
Tonight, Joe E. Kramer presents the Decades Christmas Spectacular. This is Decades with Joe E. Kramer.
All right, you ready to do it? 1 more hour, 2 more days until Christmas. Let's get it going with Darlene Love. Oh, and the E Street Band, by the way.
The cold wind is blowing and the streets are getting dark. I'm writing you a letter and I don't know where to start. The bells will be ringing St. John the Divine. I get a little lonely every year around this time. The music plays all night in Little Italy. The lights will be going up the whole Rockefeller tree. People window shopping on Fifth Avenue. All I want for Christmas is you. I've gotta know where the lonely hearts go. Oh, nobody ought to be all alone on Christmas. Things are different since you've been here last. Childhood dreaming is a thing of the past. Maybe you can bring us some hope this year. Visions of sugar plums have disappeared. Do you remember sleigh riding in the snow? Dancing all night, so baby, please go home. Today's celebration is bittersweet. There's mothers and children in the street. I wanna know where the lonely hearts go. Nobody ought to be all alone on Christmas. I'm all grown up, but I'm the same, you'll see. I'm writing you this letter 'cause I still believe. Dear Santa, I've been good this year. Can't you stay a little while with me right here?
Decades Christmas, the Hooters, Silent Night.
Sleep in heavenly peace.
Wishing you a very Merry Christmas.
Northeast PA's the river.
You know, it wouldn't be Christmas without the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Does anybody really know the name? Christmas Eve. Sarajevo 1224. There you go.
Griswold family Christmas tree.
Isn't it a little big?
It's not big, it's just full.
Dad, that thing wouldn't fit in our yard.
Not going in our yard, Russ. It's going in our living room.
This is Decades on the River. Merry Christmas.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. On the fourth day of Christmas, on the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 5 golden rings. 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me Christmas, my true love gave to me 8 ladies dancing, 7 ladies dancing, 6 ladies dancing, 5. You better not shout, you better not cry, you better not in a pear tree. On the 9th, on the 8th, on the 7th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 7 songs of swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5 golden rings. 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves. Here we come, the boys, hand in hand, there I be decked with bay
face and partridge in a pear tree. On the 11th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 11 pipers piping, 10 lords a leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a milking, 7 swans a swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. On the 12th day of Christmas, my
I
true
have a
love gave
little
to
dreidel.
me.
I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, a dreidel I shall play. Dreidel.
12 days of Christmas.
What?
Yeah, Christmas. 8 days of Hanukkah.
Oh.
It's a Christmas medley.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. On the 12th day, my true love gave to me 12 drummers drumming like Olympus above the Serengeti. 11 pipers piping, 10 lords a leaping. 9 ladies dancing, they were dancing for me. 8 maids a milking, they were milking just for me. I had Christmas down in Africa. 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 Gonna deck the halls and do the things we never had.
We should have done this song on Singing with the Sam. I don't know why I didn't think of it. She abandoned me today to go to Hershey.
Partridge in a big pear tree.
More Singing with the Sam in the new year.
Partridge in a big pear tree.
And do not forget, Christmas is coming in 2 days, but then there is New Year's, and there is New Year's Eve. And next Saturday, there will be no Decades. We're going to take next Saturday off for the holiday. I will be here on Monday, though. A special Monday night edition of Decades as we ring in the new year. And a special guest will be Rex Havoc will be joining me next Monday. Not this Monday, next Monday, to ring in 2019. And it's basically everything is on the table as far as music goes that night. But that is Christmas or New Year's Eve as we ring in 2019. We didn't do it last year. We were working on a new studio, so we're back this year. I think I've done it 12 out of the 13 years that I've been here. I don't know. But anyway, we'll ring in New Year next Monday, December 31st. Me and Rex Havoc will be here. And no show next Saturday night as we get a little extended holiday. All right, here's some more useless facts for the holiday. Paul McCartney, $400,000 a year from his wonderful Christmas Time song, which is widely regarded as the worst song he ever recorded. More than 400,000 illnesses are caused by spoiled Christmas leftovers. You get that ham and whatever, and then we're eating it like 3 weeks later, and it ain't good by then. But 400,000 illnesses. Christmas used to be a non-legal holiday. I guess you could call it illegal. Oklahoma was the last U.S. state to declare Christmas a legal holiday, and that didn't happen until 1907. And here's something a lot of people, I guess people know this. Christmas is not Christ's birthday, as many believe. According to the Bible, he was actually not even born in the winter. Some say he was born in July. That's the rumor. The original location of the 1947 Miracle on the 34th Street movie was the New York Macy's in Herald Square. However, for the remake in 1994, Macy's refused to participate. Therefore, the fictional store Kohl's was created. And Toys for Tots was founded in Los Angeles. 5,000 toys were collected during the first drive in 1947. A handmade doll was the first ever donation. So there you go. All right, we're going to wind things down for another Christmas spectacular here. Hey, don't forget Christmas Eve. I got so much going through my mind. Listen to the River 105 and 103.5. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, the River Christmas Spectacular of music. So you don't want to miss that. Smash Mouth, New Kids, New Edition, Weird Al, and more all coming up right here. It is Decades on the River 105 and 103.5 around the world, the rivernepa.com. Decades with JoeECramer.com and a Radio Bold app. We'll be back in 90 seconds. Hang on.
The gift that keeps on giving. Get ready to turn it up. This is Decades with Joe E. Kramer.
The news had come out in the First World War. The bloody Red Baron was flying once more. The Allied command ignored all of its men and called on Snoopy to do it again. 'Twas the night before Christmas, 40 below, when Snoopy went up in search of his foe. He spotted the Red Baron, fiercely they fought. With ice on his wings, Snoopy knew he was caught. Christmas bells, those Christmas bells, ring out from the land, asking peace of all the world and goodwill to man. The Baron had Snoopy dead in his sights. He reached for the trigger to pull it tight. Why he didn't shoot, well, we'll never know. Or was it the bells from the village below? Christmas bells, those Christmas bells, ringing through the land, bringing peace to all the world and goodwill to man. The Baron and Snoopy fly to the Rhine and forced him to land behind the enemy lines. Snoopy was certain that this was the end when the Baron cried out, "Merry Christmas, my friend!" The Baron then offered a holiday toast, and Snoopy, our hero, saluted his host. And then with the roll, they were both on their way, each knowing they meet on some other day. Christmas bells, those Christmas bells, ringing through the land, bringing peace to all the world and goodwill to man. Christmas bells, those Christmas bells, ringing through the land, bringing peace to all the world and goodwill to man, and goodwill to man, and goodwill to man.
Celebrating the holidays with Joe E. Kramer on Decades.
Peace to the world from the new kids on the block. We are here. We're spreading all our joy, spreading all our love and our cheers.
Cheerful sleigh bells ring, quiet children sing.
It's peace and love and harmony we bring. Hail, Merry Christmas, Merry, Merry Christmas to all our sisters and brothers. Hail, Merry Christmas, Merry, Merry Christmas, let's all
you in the Christmas spirit more than the New Kids on the Block. Merry, Merry Christmas right here on Decades. It's Joey Kramer celebrating Christmas 2 days early. We do it every single year. Hope you didn't miss Johnny Mathis tonight. I had him on at 9 o'clock, 5th year in a row. And he's not an easy guy to just ask Shadow Steele. I got him and he didn't. That's one thing I have over him. And Shadow will be back, by the way, in the middle of January. I believe January 15th, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have a calendar in front of me, so that date is probably completely wrong. But it's around January 19th. He'll be back on the show. So we'll talk about more then. This is a real cool song. Blink 182, I Won't Be Home for Christmas. It is a Decades Christmas.
Start to sing, I can't describe the joy they bring, 'cause joy is something they don't bring me. My girlfriend is by my side, from the roof are hanging sickles of ice, their whiny voices get irritating. It's Christmas time again. So I stand with a dead smile on my face, wondering how much of my time they'll waste. Oh God, I hate these Satan's helpers. And then I guess I must have snapped, because I grabbed the baseball bat and made them all run for shelter. It's Christmas time again. It's time to be nice to the people you can't stand. All year I'm growing tired of all this Christmas cheer. You people scare me. Please stay away from my home. If you don't want to get beat down, just leave the presents and then leave me alone. Christmas Eve, 'cause the cops came and arrested me. They had an unfair advantage. And even though the jail didn't have a tree, Christmas came a night early, 'cause a guy named Bubba unwrapped my package. It's Christmas time again. It's time to be nice to the people you can't stand. All year I'm growing tired of all this Christmas cheer. You people scare me. Stay away from my home. If you don't want to get me down, just leave the presents and then leave me alone. I won't be home. I won't be home for Christmas. I won't be home. I won't be home for Christmas. I won't be home. I won't be home for Christmas. I won't be home. I won't be home for Christmas. I won't be home. I won't be home for Christmas. I won't be home. I won't be home for Christmas.
Wishing you a very Merry Christmas.
Hey! 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 Ding-a-dee-jing. It's Dominic the donkey. Ding-a-dee-jing. The Italian Christmas donkey. La 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 la. Santa's got a little friend, his name is Dominic, the cutest little donkey, you'll never see him kick.
When Santa visits his paisans with Dominic, he'll be. Because the reindeer cannot climb the hills of Italy. Hey, jingity-jing, it's Dominic the donkey. Jingity-jing, the Italian Christmas donkey. Hey, jingity-jing, it's Dominic the donkey. Jingity-jing, the Italian Christmas donkey. La 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 la. Jingle bells around the street and presents on the sled. Hey, look at the Mayor's Derby on top of Dominic's head. A pair of shoes for Louis and a dress for Josephine. The label on the inside says they're made in Brooklyn. Hey, jingity-jing, it's Dominic the donkey. Jingity-jing, the Italian Christmas donkey. La 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 da. Children sing and clap their hands and Dominic starts to dance. They talk Italian to him and he even understands. Kumbaras and kumbaras do they dance ad arandel. When Santa Nicola comes to town and brings Ujucharil. Hey, jingity-jing, it's Dominic the donkey. Jingity-jing, the Italian Christmas donkey. Hey, jingity-jing, it's Dominic the donkey. Jingity-jing, the Italian Christmas donkey. La 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 da. La 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 da. La 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 da. Hey, jingity-jing, it's Dominic the donkey. Jingity-jing, the Italian Christmas donkey. Hey, jingity-jing, it's Dominic the donkey. Jingity-jing, the Italian Christmas donkey. La 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 da. La 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 da.
Back when you did your Christmas shopping at Stroud's and Jewel Corps. This is Decades with Joe E. Kramer.
Christmas Spectacular. Man, that's a good one. Christmas All Over the World, new edition. Sheena Easton also sang it in the movie The Santa Claus, which was out like in 1985. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely a movie you want to check out over the holidays. And what would Christmas be? What would any week be without Weird Al Yankovic? Because this is the night that Santa went crazy on Decades.
Down in the workshop, all the elves were making toys for the good Gentile girls and the good Gentile boys. When the boss busted in, nearly scared him half to death, had a rifle in his hands and cheap whiskey on his breath. From his beard to his boots, he was covered with ammo, like a big fat drunk, disgruntled Yuletide Rambo. And he smiled as he said, with a twinkle in his eye, Merry Christmas to all, now you're all gonna die. The night Santa went crazy, the night Saint Nick went insane, realized he'd been getting the raw deal, something finally must have snapped in his brain. Well, the workshop is gone now, he decided to bomb it. Everywhere you'll find pieces of Cupid and Comet. And he tied up his helpers, and he held the elves hostage, and he ground up poor Rudolph into reindeer sausage. He got Dancer and Prancer with an old German Luger, and he slashed up Dasher just like Freddy Krueger. And he picked up a flamethrower, and he barbecued Blitzen, and he took a big bite and said it tastes just like chicken. The night Santa went crazy, the night Kris Kringle went nuts. Now you can't hardly walk around the North Pole without stepping in reindeer guts. There's the National Guard and the FBI. There's a van from the Eyewitness News and helicopters circling round in the sky. And the bullets are flying, the body counts rising, and everyone's dying to know, oh Santa, why? My, you used to be such a jolly guy. Yes, Virginia, now Santa's doing time in a federal prison for his infamous crime. Hey, little friend, now, don't you cry no more tears. He'll be out with good behavior in 700 more years. But now Vixen's in therapy, and Donner's still nervous, and the elves all got jobs working for the Postal Service. And they say Mrs. Claus, she's on the phone every night with a lawyer negotiating the movie rights. They talk about the night Santa went crazy, the night St. Nicholas flipped, broke his back for some milk and cookies. Sounds to me like he was tired of getting chipped. Oh, the night Santa went crazy, the night St. Nick went insane, realized he'd been getting the raw deal. Something finally must have snapped in his brain. Whoa, something finally must have snapped in his brain. Tell ya, something finally must have snapped in his brain.
Celebrating the holidays with Joe E. Kramer on Decades.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years, we all will be together. If the fates allow, hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Through the years, we all will be together. If the fates allow, hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
It is the Pretenders, A Very Special Christmas. That was the first one that came out back in 1987. There's been like 8 of them since then, but nothing was better than the absolute first one. The Pretenders, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, and that will do it for another year. The Decades Christmas Spectacular. Hope you had a great time tonight. A lot of Christmas songs that you don't normally hear on the radio, and that's what I love to do every single year. We will be back not next Saturday. We'll be off on Saturday the 29th, I believe that is, 29th. But we will be here Monday night, New Year's Eve. As we count down to 2019, we'll start the party at 7 o'clock. Rex Havoc will be up here, and you get us for 5 hours of New Year's Eve joy, I guess you can say. Right up until midnight, and a lot of different music again, because we're going to play music from all the decades, not just the 80s and the 90s. We'll tap into the 70s, maybe the 60s, even to the 2000s. So make sure you join us next Monday night, December 31st, for our New Year's Eve show. Have yourself a great Christmas. You got 2 days left to get that shopping done, and get ready to celebrate with family and friends. Hope you have a fantastic Christmas, and I will talk to you next Monday night as we celebrate the last day of 2018. This is Decades, a Decades Christmas, which, by the way, will be available at decadeswithjoeykramer.com along with Johnny Mathis, who I have to thank again. That interview will be up there, too, and I will make sure I have it up there so you can listen to it before Christmas. This is Decades. Around the world at therivernepa.com, Decades with joeykramer.com. You can link it on Facebook, Decades with Joey Kramer. And the Radio Bold app for your iPhone or Android device. And, of course, right here on the river, 105 and 103.5. Tune in Christmas Eve for the River 105 and 103.5 Christmas Spectacular. Have a Merry Christmas. I will talk to you on New Year's Eve.